Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Quarter Guard. And it has officially been the first week of every NFL team being on the offseason. Of course, the first week after the Super Bowl doesn't really count, so it's the week after that, and here we are. We got the updated salary cap numbers, and where teams were originally going into the offseason expecting to be around 243-ish million, give or take a million or so. It is actually at $255.4 million for the salary cap, which is massive for a whole bunch of teams. Miami is a big one in that. Originally, at the end of the season, they were at 50 million over the cap space. Now they are only at about 36 million over. And they made two big moves that can help bring that number even less. Miami announced on Friday that they will be releasing Emmanuel Agba, which goes into effect immediately to free up about $13 million in cap space. And they declared Xavier Howard a post-June 1st cut, giving Miami $18 million once the new league year begins post-June 1st. These are two big moves that pretty much cut Miami's cap space deficit in half. It is massive. These moves plus the increase in salary cap are going to allow Miami to safely extend Tua, bring back Christian Wilkins either on a long-term extension or a franchise tag without being too worried about a cap situation, as well as hopefully bring back guys like Andrew Van Ginkel and Connor Williams. Now, Connor Williams and his agent did say that they're going to wait till after his rehab and recovery from his injury before even thinking about where he's going to sign, so that most likely won't be till post-June 1st. And the salary cap numbers, like business is booming in the NFL. This is insane. In 2011, the salary cap was, I think, roughly 100 and something million. It has now doubled since then. And like business is good in the NFL, and teams are going to be benefiting from this. The Chiefs are now $70 million under the cap space, especially if they get rid of MVS and restructure Mahomes. They're ready to go all in free agency. Same with the Chicago Bears, who have two top 10 picks and like $90 million in cap space now. We're gonna see a chaotic free agency, and I'm all here for it. Yesterday, as of recording this, was the beginning of the UFL training camp period, and all the players have reported, and teams are getting out in the practice field. We're about a month or so away from the first games of the UFL, and I am excited for the Spring League to be back. Obviously, the rules are going to be slightly different between the NFL and the UFL, but for the most part, they are the same as what the XFL and USFL had. Some of the big things. Kickoffs are standard NFL style, but instead of from the 35-yard line, they are from the 20-yard line, pushing it back so that way it can pretty much guarantee we get more returns. Instead of an extra point, it is one of three options. You can go for 1 point from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5, or 3 points from the 10, similar to what both leagues had previously. And then for onside kicks, instead of a traditional onside kick while in the fourth quarter and you are trailing or tied, you can decide to go for a 4th and 12 from your own 28-yard line. This is going to be probably a rule that I want to see the NFL adopt, the new way of doing onside kicks. Because we see nowadays in the NFL, like onside kicks with the different rules for kickoffs and everything, they're at under 10% success. I think it's under 5% success rate. Change needs to happen. Because otherwise you're not going to see a bunch of crazy comebacks like we saw last year in the XFL. The St. Louis Battlehawks were down 15 with under 2 minutes left, and they came back to win 18-15. You're not going to see those kind of insane comebacks in the NFL with the way the onside kick is working. But in the UFL and XFL previously, we've seen insane comebacks that just bring the energy into these games. So if you have any interest at all at the UFL, subscribe. I plan to do play-by-plays for at least the first half of the season at minimum. I have a lot of fun ideas I want to do the UFL as much as it's experimenting for the guys like the NFL for some rules they may want to see. It's going to be an experimental period for me for content I want to do when the NFL comes back. I've always enjoyed the spring leagues from when the AAF was a thing to XFL 2.0, USFL, XFL 3.0. I've always been a fan of these spring leagues. So join the ride with no like Miami team or New York team this for this first season, at least for UFL. I'm just here for fun. I want a lot of chaotic football because that's some of the best football. When football gets chaotic, it gets fun. Just look at the Pac-12 after dark. Rest in peace to Pac-12, but that's besides the point. Anyway, again, subscribe. UFL is about a month away. We still got some NBA content coming up with the post All-Star break and the playoffs coming up. And then, of course, weekly updates in the NFL. Any massive sign-ins or releases will be talked about here. So just subscribe and join the ride. Hope to see you in the next one, and have yourselves a damn good one.